Christy and Glenn Whipp. We're going to have a quick little moment or two here to catch up in YouTube, but I see many of our friends are already here, which is very exciting. Hello, give us one quick second and we should now be in your world. Hello, Glenn Whipp, LA Times awards expert who is already having a busy day, but we're going to be a little respite of joy. Our community is awesome.
Little
Glenn, welcome.
an oasis of joy. I need that.
I know. So
Crazy
real
week.
fast, thank you for being here. I know this is like your Super Bowl, so thank you so much for hanging out during a really busy time. Please let us know real fast. Oh, thank you, David. I was about to ask that question. David says, Christy, you sound great, by the way. So I was about to ask that question. How are we doing here? Glenn and I we're fine tuning our technical aspects here because we can't mess it up for the Oscars. We can't have bad sound design for the Oscars. Glenn, welcome. I'll let some folks trickle in a bit. My thinking here is that we'll go category by category. Hope you printed out your ballot. We had a link to it down below. It is down below in the description if you want to do it for Oscar night. I thought we'd go category by category like we did last year and then do picture last, if that works for you, Glenn.
I'm just here for the ride. You tell me what you want.
Let's say hi to folks real fast. Christine, Igor, Jonathan, it can be Justin, Rob. Hello to not the nephew. That must be Denise. And we have Tracy and everyone's here. We got friends from, McAllen, Texas in the Rio Grande Valley. My husband used to work in Laredo. Hello to you and Angel in Spain. So Glenn, real fast, before we begin, I was going to ask you, has this award season been more or less chaotic for you than usual?
It's been a topsy-turvy year, full of chaos and just like wild momentum swings. I've been wrong a lot. I should say that from the outset. So take all this with a grain of salt. I mean, we're coming into the Oscars and there's like half a dozen, maybe more categories. But some of the biggies that when they open the envelope, you're going to be on the edge of your seat going, I have, like at the SAG Awards on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
like when they were announcing the last prize, the ensemble prize, I turned to my wife and said, I have no idea what's going to win. That's
How
the kind of
funny.
year it's been. Yeah.
So was Conclave shocking for you?
I you could have made a case for almost any of the movies winning. Conclave, it was disappointing because now it's like a race for Best Picture, and Anora is my favorite movie, so I want Anora to win. I shouldn't say this because I don't want a spoiler alert, but yeah, I do want Anora to win. If Anora had won that ensemble prize, I think we could rest easy on Oscar night. Now there's a nice little tension.
Yeah, I really like being right, but I also like surprises. That's
Yeah,
the conundrum.
yeah. At this point, I just want to be right. And there have been years where the movie, and it's usually the case. Usually, the movie I want to win isn't the movie I'm predicting to win. But at this point, I just want to be right, and I've kind of like given up hope. But this year, Anora is my favorite movie. LA Film Critics Best Picture winner. We voted
Yep.
on it. Um, yeah, and it's right there. So we'll see.
How real fast, you guys, how is Glenn's level? I can hear him, but I'm wondering how it is for all of you out there. I want to make sure it's all good. Brian says audio and video are fine. To make sure we're all good. Sushi Cookie has a quick question I want to answer real fast, and then we'll get into the categories. Um, why do you think Adrian Brody lost at SAG? Is it because he's seen as difficult by his peers? I remember in the late 2000s, a Saturday Night Live actor said he's the one actor they would never invite back. What do you know about this?
I've heard those Adrian Brody Saturday Night Live stories because
Mhm.
of the 50th anniversary special and everything like that. He's intense. He's intense. He's not as much fun as Timothy.
Right?
I think everyone wouldn't mind. So why did Timothy win at SAG? I think
Right.
SAG is like voted on by 125,000 members, so it's a little bit more populous. Not that everyone
Mm,
votes. I'm hearing it was hard to vote this year. You needed like a password to log back in, and not everybody had the password. I'm hearing different stories about how many people actually voted for SAG. Um, but SAG's like a little bit more populist, which is why I think like a movie like Conclave also won too. It, it, I mean, movies like
yeah.
Black Panther won SAG one year. I mean,
Right. They don't, it's not a good indicator. SAG is not a good indicator of Best Picture. Like they match up
not
what,
Best
half the
Picture.
time?
Yeah, yeah. It's about half the time for ensemble going on for Best Picture.
Your
But the
volume's a
act,
bit low, says some folks.
what's that?
Your volume is a teensy bit low, some folks are saying. So
Yeah.
if you
So
could
how
please
do I just start screaming or
just shout into the, the computer.
shout into the void? Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, I don't know if you can like go closer to it or
Okay.
anyway. Can you sit a little bit closer to the computer? Like
I can,
emote?
but then my face is just going to be like
Didn't
maybe
you do
alarmed.
musical theater in college? I have you know how to
I have the
project?
voice. I can project.
All
I
right,
can
let's do
project.
that. Okay, cool. Thanks everyone for being here. So thrilled that you're here today. We're going to go category by category and we're going to pick who we think is going to win in each one. Hopefully, you've got a ballot and you can play along with us. But also, come on back on Sunday night, that is Oscar night, because Alonzo will be here to do a live stream with me. We are going to go live for the entirety of the Academy Awards. We're going to begin at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time, 6:30 Eastern. The actual show begins at 4 Pacific, and we're going to go the whole way through, Alonzo and I. And while you're there, make sure that you check out this fun thing we're doing with our friends at Super Streaming again. We teamed up with them last year. We've got even more going on with them this year. There's a link down in the description. You can download a cool little thing and you can do trivia with us and predictions. And there's a live auction. Some of the things involve like table for ones with me and Alonzo, and there is some signed memorabilia that you can bid on, and just a lot of really fun interactive stuff. So, link to that is down below with our friends at Super Streaming. We love working with them, and that will be going on all night, Oscar night long. So,
So you're going
yeah,
to live stream for 6 hours?
I mean, not 6 hours, right? Like
Well,
four, like 3.5, 4. Last year it was
so
just
five
me.
hours.
Well, okay, so it begins at 3:30. Maybe it lasts 3.5 hours. That's 4 hours, right?
No, that's five.
Anyway, no, four.
If you're there an hour and a half before the show,
No, a half an hour.
oh, just a half an hour. Okay. I'm sorry.
3:30 we're starting
I'm
because they're early again this year, Glenn. They were early last year because of
wait.
daylight saving time. Why
That's
are
not
they
true,
early
is
this
it?
year?
There's no, that's not true. They're starting at that. Now you
4 p.m.
are you serious?
Look at the ballot. Look, it says right there.
Wow. See, I learned something. Good thing I came on this show.
I
You
don't
know
want
what
you to be
time I'm
late for
going to
work.
work on Sunday?
Are you going to be in the newsroom? Where are you going to be?
I am going to be on my sofa
Sweet.
live I'm doing the LA Times version of the live conversation with columnist Mary Pulitzer Prize winning columnist Mary McNamara.
Put some respect on that name.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, Gage. Alonzo is aware of this. Alonzo's not here today because he's doing a really cool shoot that I can't tell you about yet, but we'll be able to give you some more details on that down the road. Thank you, Denise. It's 4 p.m. Excuse me.
Alonso's not here because I'm here. I feel like Alonso doesn't like me. This is the second year I've done this, and Alonso always is like mysteriously absent.
Like he'd rather have COVID. That was last year's
That
excuse.
was last year, wasn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
um,
Okay.
but no, he's busy. He's got a gig today. All right. Are you guys ready? Glenn Whipp, are you ready? I know you've got a hard out at 1 p.m. So let's get you in and out to do the rest of your work.
We can
Okay.
do
So
this.
what's that, honey?
We can do this.
We can, because some of them are a lock. Like I'm going to spend about 2 seconds on Best Supporting Actor. All right, so let's begin with Best Actor in a Leading Role. Your nominees are, as we discussed a minute ago, Adrian Brody for The Brutalist, Timothy Chalamet for A Complete Unknown, Coleman Domingo for Sing Sing, Ray Fiennes in Conclave, and Sebastian Stan in The Apprentice. Glenn, what's going to happen? Does Timmy winning at SAG mean that he might have a better shot now?
Do you know who the youngest winner ever for Best Actor is?
Adrian Brody at age 29.
Do you know who would be the youngest winner if Timothy wins?
Timothy Chalamet.
Yes, by like, I don't know, handful of days. So is are we going to have a new Prince this year? That's the question.
Yeah,
Or is the same guy who was the youngest going to win a second Oscar for playing another kind of Holocaust survivor role?
right.
Which, I mean, I'm going with Brody. He's won more than Chalamet has coming into the Oscars. Chalamet did win SAG, but I think The Brutalist is just kind of a weightier movie. He
Mm.
gives like this more intense performance. I mean, the category just always goes older until it doesn't. I mean, I'm going to be citing a lot of like precedents today, and then they're true until they're not. And when come year they're not going to be true. But it's a close. It's this is another one of those races I was talking about where like the envelope's open and you don't know. You know, it's a nice moment of surprise one way or the other. But I think Brody just with this the gravitas of the
Yeah.
performance. Yeah.
But Timmy's going to be one of the greats these days. As he said in his SAG acceptance speech, it's like Daniel Day-Lewis, Marlon Brando, Timothy Chalamet, Michael Phelps.
He's got goals.
I totally admire that. I really do. Like, put it out there, manifest. My friend Jared Diamond, longtime baseball writer Jared Diamond's here, says I still think it's going to Brody. Yeah, I agree with you. So I've got Brody on my ballot. Okay, supporting actor. This is the one lock of the night. A lot of categories could go a lot of different ways. I don't see a world in which Kieran Culkin does not win this. I should say the other nominees. They're there too. Yura Borisov for Anora, Kieran Culkin for A Real Pain, Edward Norton for A Complete Unknown, Guy Pearce in The Brutalist, and Jeremy Strong in The Apprentice. So you have that delicious little succession showdown between Roman and Kendall Roy. I can't imagine anyone but Kieran Culkin winning this. What do you think?
Yeah, it's genuinely bizarre because you list those names, all pretty great performances.
They really are.
Like, how does Culkin win everything? That's
Because it's
what I
not a
don't.
supporting performance. It's a co-lead.
Oh, well, that's the interesting thing about this. It's like he's in an hour of the movie, and the movie's 90 minutes long with credits.
Hmm.
So it's not a supporting performance. Neither is the winner of the supporting actress category. This year you're gonna have four lead performances winning the acting races. And so
Yeah.
yeah, it's not how do you compare yeah, it's not. I don't think it's fair. I don't think Culkin should be in supporting. I mean, the one thing that they're saying is that you see the movie through the eyes of Jesse Eisenberg's character, which is true, but I don't know. But Culkin's winning, yeah.
Yeah, it's just a showy performance. I think about Jennifer Connelly all the time in this context, winning supporting actress for A Beautiful Mind, which is totally a co-lead. So it's a matter of, again, like strategy and placement. Anyway, Kieran Culkin, we all agree. Best actress, we have Cynthia Erivo in Wicked, Carla Sofia Gascon in Amelia Perez, Mikey Madison and Nora, Demi Moore, The Substance, Fernanda Torres, and I'm Still Here. I think this is pretty obvious. It's going to be Demi Moore. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I can see a case where if you're thinking Honora is going to have a big night and sweep through the Oscars, it was nominated for six nominations.
Mhm.
You could see the great lead performance of Mikey Madison winning too. But Demi Moore comeback story,
Right.
she's leaned into that. She's talked about the perseverance. I've discovered a lot during this award season about how many people just genuinely love Demi Moore.
Oh, wow.
Um, I talked to somebody earlier this week. She should have won for Ghost. I was like, okay, really? But I mean, there are people out there that just genuinely love her. And I mean, did you see the standing ovation at the SAG Awards? That
Yeah,
was
that felt
like
like
the
a
biggest.
culmination. Yeah.
Yeah, it was the biggest ovation of the night, which you can't always read those vibe checks into the room, but I think in this case it's indicative. I don't think it's as obvious as you do, but I think
No.
I'm predicting Demi to win.
If it's not her, is it Mikey or is it Fernanda Torres?
I think it's Mikey. Um, a lot of talk about I'm Still Here and Fernanda Torres, gaining momentum, late breaking, but still hasn't won anything. So
Yeah.
this would be like the thing it wins, the thing she wins. I don't
So
see
you're
it.
saying you think Demi's going to win, but if Mikey won, you wouldn't be surprised.
Right.
Okay. Let's go supporting actress. We have Monica Barbaro in A Complete Unknown, Ariana Grande in Wicked, Felicity Jones in The Brutalist, Isabella Rossellini in Conclave, and Zoe Saldana in Amelia Perez. Who wins?
The same person who's won all season,
Yes.
Zoe Saldana.
Yes.
So
So none of the Amelia Perez blowback affects her.
it hasn't. No,
Yeah.
not. She's been totally immune to any of the controversy. She's just, yeah. People, again, another lead performance. Arguably her movie. Um,
Yeah.
and people, yeah, she's been the favorite really since the film premiered at Cannes.
Yeah. And she is really good in it. And the problems that exist in this film are not her fault because what she's asked to do is tough in terms of the choreography and like singing and acting in Spanish. And like lyrically, those songs are complicated and the choreography is complicated. And it's just like a fine line she's got to walk with that character. So I do think she's really good and really deserving. I
Yes,
agree.
I do too.
Okay. Yeah, Jonathan Caro says, sigh, Saldana's gonna sweep. Yeah, but I think deservedly so. And Christine says she was at least the best part of Amelia Perez. So, all right. Animated feature. We have Flow, Inside Out 2, Memoir of a Snail, Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Foul, and The Wild Robot. What do you think is going to win?
I'm a big Flow fan, as you know. I
Yeah,
love that movie. I think
same.
it's the movie that the Wild Robot wishes it could be.
Mhm.
But I think that I think it's Wild Robot. It's won more things. There's like an industry awards for animation, the Annie Awards.
Mhm.
It swept through that, won like
Um,
nine.
wow.
Um, the guy who made it, what's his name? Chris Sanders, right?
Mhm.
Did Lilo and Stitch, did How to Train a Dragon, um, How to Train Your Dragon.
Your own personal dragon.
Yeah. But I like he's been around forever. He's never won an Oscar.
Yeah.
This feels like the time. Um, and people genuinely love the Wild Robot too. I did. I'm a little bit on it, but I think Wild Robot is going to win.
I love the first hour of The Wild Robot.
Then it ends. I mean, the movie ends at the 1 hour mark,
Mhm.
and then it's like another half hour of clang clang, um, which is just unnecessary. They have no idea where to go after that hour.
Yeah. So you're picking Wild Robot.
I am.
Okay, I'm picking Flow. This is the
Yeah.
first place that you and I deviate. I do think Flow is going to win because I know the Annies are probably a pretty good predictor of these things. Flow is better, and I think I don't know. Like, is it the artier choice? I could be wrong. This could be like either way, and I wouldn't be surprised. But I would say Flow. Animated short. Okay, I have to say I've seen none of these, so I defer to you for your wisdom. Your nominees are Beautiful Men, In the Shadow of the Cypress, Magic Candles, Wander to Wonder, and Yuck.
I mean, well, tell me the name of the last title that you mentioned.
Yuck.
That's. I think that's why it's going to win because it's like I heard somebody talking about this the other day. Like, first of all, it's hard to find people. I try to talk to a lot of voters before I make my predictions. Hard to find people who vote in these short film categories.
Mhm.
Um, someone said like, yeah, so a movie with a title that's like really snappy and memorable has like a built-in advantage. I mean,
Mm.
yuck is like about first kiss, about it's really sweet, French, nice, and I mean that's what I'm going. Believe me, when I explain like reasons for picking the short categories, it's just like arbitrary. But yuck, like 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 I'll say I'm picking it because it's got an exclamation mark and it's fun to say.
So David
So,
Leman says Wander to Wonder will win because it won a BAFTA and the Annie
yes.
Award. So
Yeah. That's a good one. And I almost picked it because of that. It very well could win. Like
okay.
I feel like that reasoning is so much better than mine. But then again, these are the Oscars, so a lot of times logic and reason is out the window.
Yes, our friend Angel in Spain thinks Yuck is the favorite. Anyway, I put down Yuck because I heard it was cute and people like it. Again, the short categories are really the ones where when you're doing your Oscar pool, these can make or break you. If you can like get all the shorts right, this gives you a big advantage over mere mortals who only see Marvel movies, for example.
I'm
So
unreasonably happy when I get these categories right.
yeah. So quite often I will have seen all of them. When we get to live action, sure, I've seen all 5 of those, but I have not seen these. So I'm with you on Yuck, but maybe Wander to Wonder wins. Yeah, this is part of the fun with this year is that it could go a lot of different ways in a lot of different categories. So cinematography, your nominees are The Brutalist, Doom Part 2, Amelia Perez, Maria, and Nosferatu.
Yeah, when we're getting to a lot of these categories, it's the Oscar usually goes to the most, and that includes acting too.
Mhm,
Like even the supporting roles, it's the most screen time. That's part of why they're going to win.
mhm.
I'm going with the Brutalist for cinematography because Vista Vision. So
Yeah.
much was made out of the scope and yeah. So that's the pick.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, just the grandeur of it.
Yeah.
But these are all, except for Amelia Perez, these are all exquisitely beautiful films like Nosferatu, the cinematography and the production design are really the best parts of it. Doom Part 2, I feel like Doom Part 2 is going to eventually win when that third one comes out. Like that's when all those Doom Part 2 Oscars are finally going to come. I feel like people are waiting for that, perhaps.
The first Dune movie won 6 Oscars.
Did it? Okay.
Like 3 years ago, it won more Oscars than any other movie in 2022. And like,
Wow.
I like the second Dune movie more,
Me too.
and it's not going to do nearly as well.
Yeah, I don't have it. I don't think I have it winning anything, but anyway, we'll get to that. I'm with you for the Brutalist on cinematography. Again, real fast, quick reminder about our Sunday night Oscar live stream. If you're having fun here, Oscar night's going to be even more fun. Alonzo and I will be here for the entirety of the show. We're teaming up with our friends at Super Streaming for trivia and predictions and auctions and prizes. There's a link to that down below, our Super Streaming watch party. But we'll be here on our YouTube channel for the entirety. So come on back starting at 3:30 p.m. Pacific, 6:30 Eastern on Oscar night. Okay, costume design. We have A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Gladiator 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. I think Wicked, because this is most costume.
Yes. 1,000, more than 1,000 costumes.
And they're exquisite. They're gorgeous. Like everything Ariana Grande wears is so beautiful. The various shades of pink and all the details. Everything that Cynthia Erivo wears. Michelle Yeoh is a wonder. Yeah,
Think of all the beadwork that went into those more than 1,000 costumes. That's a lot of work.
it is, and it's gorgeous, and it's transporting, right? In terms of like reflecting who these characters are and what this world is like and how the characters evolve. Anyway, I loved it, and that's an easy one. Okay, director. Let's just do director now, and we'll come back to picture. What do you think? Sound good?
I love the random choices you're making. Just
Totally not random. I've got a
keeping me on
plan.
my toes.
I've got a plan here. All right. So your director nominees are Sean Baker for Anora, Brady Corbet for The Brutalist, James Mangold for A Complete Unknown, Jacques Audiard for Amelia Perez, and Coralie Fargia for The Substance.
I'm going with Sean Baker,
Mhm.
who won Directors Guild. Um, seven. I don't know how these things like lodge in my brain. They will only be there lodged in my brain for like another 5 days, and then they will evaporate. but yeah, 76 years DGA, all but 8 times has the Directors Guild winner not gone on to win the Oscar. I could, it wasn't all that long ago when Brady Corbet was the favorite in this
Mhm.
category. Um, I could see a world in which picture and director split this year because the award season has been all over the map. So maybe Brady Corbet wins director and another film wins picture. I don't think
Yeah,
The Brutalist is going to win Best Picture.
I don't either.
Um, Both Brady Corbet and Sean Baker have really leaned into the importance of cinema, movie going, the theatrical experience.
Yep.
Brady Corbet has gone on about how he's broke, how he doesn't have any money. He has, he didn't take a paycheck while he's making The Brutalist. So the sacrifices that he made for cinema.
Mhm.
I mean, I'm kind of being a little snarky, but I mean, people do respond to that kind of thing. It resonates the sacrifices for art, which is kind of a theme of The Brutalist itself. But I still think Sean Baker's going to win.
Yeah, Jared Diamond just commented on that very thing. He said, "I wouldn't be surprised if Corbet and Nora split director and picture." I think part of the narrative with Brady Corbet that's so compelling as well is the fact that he made this film, this behemoth film, for a reported $10 million. And so that ingenuity, and also the fact that, yeah, I mean, Laszlo Toth is sort of a stand-in for every artist trying to make their voice heard in an uncompromised fashion, right? So, do other filmmakers look at that and resonate with that and connect with that? So, I would not be totally surprised if Brady Corbet won, but I am picking Sean Baker.
Yeah, the reasons that you just enunciated are the reasons I always thought Corbet was going to win.
Yeah,
But then I have to default to the safe pick
right,
and go with Baker.
right.
Um, yeah.
I agree.
Who, by the way, Honora, $6 million, a lot of location work. It's impressive to make that movie for $6 million too.
Right. And that's one of the more expensive Sean Baker movies, right? I mean,
Yeah,
Tangerine, he shot in his
yeah,
iPhone at the corner of Santa Monica and Highland.
yeah.
Okay, documentary feature. We have Black Box Diaries, No Other Land, Porcelain War, Soundtrack to a Coup d'etat, and Sugarcane. This is one where I've also seen all of these. I think No Other Land is going to win. What do you think?
Well, I love No Other Land.
Mhm.
Voted for that in LA Film Critics. The problem with No Other Land is that it never got a distributor. Um, Another problem with No Other Land is that it's about Israeli Palestine conflict,
Mhm.
and it's made by it's a very even-handed, I feel like, look at it, but a lot of people feel like the movie is pro-Palestinian, and that doesn't play well with a lot of people in the Academy. Meanwhile, you have Porcelain War,
Mhm.
which is about Ukrainian artists under siege, but still creating art, surviving. Um, I think, I mean, No Other Land is the favorite in this category, but I think Porcelain War is going to win.
Interesting. I'm picking Northern Land, but I would not be surprised at all if Porcelain War won for that very reason. Like 20 Days of Mariupol, like Navalny winning, it's a statement. It's deserved, but it's also a statement. And I think artists will respond so passionately to this idea of the artists who stayed and they fought to preserve their culture. That is the thing that authoritarianism strips away. And so someone's got to stay to fight to preserve it, and that's what they're doing. And they shot a lot of this film themselves. There's beautiful little animated interstitials where they take the like beautifully detailed, painstaking artistry on these porcelain little creatures, and they bring them to life. And it's gorgeous. And so like that element's cool. I'm really torn on this one.
Yeah, I we live in a kind of a weird time. when
Mhm.
a movie like No Other Land can't find any kind of distributor, any kind of platform for people like who are watching this right now. Probably most people have not seen No Other Land because they haven't had the chance or the ability to see it. And and then you have, like, I'm talking with people saying, yeah, the Academy's not going to vote for it because it's just too controversial. Like, what?
Oh,
Isn't that what art's supposed to be? Like,
yeah. Thought
uh,
provoking.
or
Yeah.
like, yeah, they're not, it's not going to win because nobody wants to hear a speech. Like,
Oh.
yeah, so
So you're going
uh,
porcelain war?
I am, yeah.
All right. You just talked me into it. I'm going to change mine. All right. On the fly,
I
breaking
am not
news.
trying to, I think that No Other Land could very
Yeah.
well win.
No, it really could go either way.
Yeah, it
But
could.
you made a very persuasive argument just now about optics.
Mm.
You know, all right. So, documentary short. I have not seen any of these. I defer to you on this. Death by Numbers. I Am Ready. Warden. Incident. Instruments of a Beating Heart. And the Only Girl in the Orchestra.
I'm going. So you have not seen any of these. Should
I
I
have not.
shame you for not even like clicking on Netflix and watching The Only Girl in the Orchestra?
I'll tell you why. So our friends at the South Bay Film Society down here, they
Hmm.
do all the 5 nominees in each category. Shout out to Randy Burler, South Bay Film Society. They show things at the AMC Rolling Hills 20. That's how I saw all the live action shorts, but they haven't done documentary short or animated short yet, so I have not seen them.
Yeah, so okay. Good excuse. You're excused. You're excused.
Thanks.
I'm going with Incident in this category.
Okay.
It's because here I'm going with the movie that's the short that's the best. It's just this really intense short film about uh, the murder of a black man in Chicago, and it's
Mm.
done totally from surveillance, body cam
Oh,
footage, and then so you see from uh, the body cam footage, but you also see the aftermath of it. It's really quite good, and that's to me it was the best of the 5 nominees. Um, so I'm kind of going against myself here
okay.
because I usually like the yuck was like I was picking that for a harebrained reason. And here I'm going with like what I'd pick as a critic.
Okay.
Um, but that's what I'm picking.
Okay, so you want this to win and you think it will win both?
Yes.
Okay. My friend Denise says Incident is her pick too. I wrote down I Am Ready Warden because I hear that's great. And in our Patreon lunch date yesterday, one of our longtime loyal folks said that that was a great one and he liked it a lot. So I thought that would be the one.
I've heard from people voting for that too.
Okay, so up to you.
That's
This is
like
a coin toss.
that was my backup choice in this category.
Okay, film editing: Anora, The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Wicked. What do you pick?
I'm going with Conclave here.
Same.
So if Sean Baker, the director that we just said was going to win, he's nominated for editing too.
Yep. Yep.
If he won, he's nominated for 4 Oscars.
Yep.
So if he won all 4, he's going to tie Walt Disney's single year Oscar record.
That's crazy, and I like that story. I don't think that's gonna happen here, though. But so much of what makes Anora work is, like, the tonal pacing of it
Hmm.
and the territory it covers so seamlessly, like, that journey that it makes, and that is in the script, of course, but it's also in the editing. So, that wouldn't surprise me if he won for this, but I do think it's Conclave because it's just so propulsive. It's just, like, so juicy and suspenseful.
All those cuts between the cardinals.
All
Yes.
the vaping cardinal cutaways are
Yes.
crucial to telling
Yep.
the story. All right, international feature. I have seen all of these as well. I'm Still Here, The Girl with the Needle, Amelia Perez, The Seed of the Sacred Fig, Flow. Does Amelia Perez win this despite it all?
I think so. I think so. 13 nominations. So it led the field. We said Zoe Saldana is going to win.
Yep.
So I mean, and she has continued to win after the controversy, after
Yeah.
the Carlos Sofia Gascon controversy. So there's evidence that voters are not holding her remarks against the movie, or I guess specifically Saldana, but the movie also won at the British Film Academy Awards.
Hmm.
So I, I, a lot of people have jumped ship on this category and gone over to I'm Still Here, which
Hmm.
I think could happen, but I'm sticking with Amelia Perez.
I am too. I am too. Although if I'm Still Here one, it wouldn't surprise me. There's so much fervor. We've gotten an incredible response to our review of I'm Still Here in Brazil. They're going nuts for it. It
Nice.
is Carnival in Brazil while the Oscars are happening. And so people are really, really primed for this, for a celebration. Um, I mean, 4 of the 5 of these are excellent, but I'm going to go with Amelia Perez
Can I
as
can I just
well.
can I just do a shout out to your Brazilian listeners so they're not
Please.
angry, and just say I am hoping that I'm Still Here wins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that'd be great. That'd be a really fun, exciting upset. Okay, makeup and hairstyling, A Different Man, Amelia Perez, Nosferatu, The Substance, and Wicked. I'm going with The Substance.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, back way back when, it feels like 5 years ago, but did you ever see the Instagram photos that Demi Moore posted
Yes.
on Halloween of
Yes, that was
like,
cool.
oh, I mean, there's your prize right there. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, all the she posted these, very just, how would you describe them? Gruesome,
Gooey. Really
gooey.
elaborate, gooey
Yeah,
prosthetic
yeah.
work. I mean,
But
and
like,
A Different Man has some of that stuff too, but
yeah,
this is much more elaborate. That whole third act of The Substance where it just goes nuts. Yeah,
yeah,
I'm
easy,
with you.
easy for The Substance. So
I
that's
agree.
two.
Okay. So that's 2. Yeah. So if, yeah, right. If Demi wins and The Substance wins for makeup. Yes. Okay. Original score, The Brutalist, Conclave, Amelia Perez, Wicked, and The Wild Robot. Of course, the glaring omission here is Challengers. It's really what should be winning, but I have The Brutalist here.
Dun dun dun
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun, dun. It is grand and imposing like the film itself.
Like, if you can like shout out a riff like we just did, it's a good chance the movie's going to win.
I agree. Although I do love the Conclave score too. It's the same composer who did All Quiet in the Western Front for Burger.
Which had a big riff, and it
Which
won score.
won. It
Yeah,
won.
yeah.
All right. Original song, El Mal from Amelia Perez. The Journey from the 6888. Like a Bird from Sing Sing. Mi Camino from Amelia Perez. And Never Too Late from Elton John, Never Too Late. I think Diane Warren goes away empty handed again.
I thought you were about to say, I think Diane Warren is about to win her first
No,
Oscar
no,
for
she's going to be very upset again. It's very sad. I think
It's
El
the
Mal is going to win.
Journey.
What do
Sing
you
it.
pick?
It's the journey.
Ugh.
I mean, did at the SAG Awards they played that song during the In Memoriam, the Diane Warren song from, and it's a
Oh.
good song.
She's a
Like,
good songwriter.
but like, and people have been hating on, like, it was funny after Amelia Perez won at the Globes, everybody was going on TikTok and just making videos about how awful the songs from Amelia Perez were, and they were all Wicked fans. Like, this is a musical, um, and so El Mal is going to win, but not because it's like a great song, but it's going to win because of the performance and the choreography
Right.
during the song.
The number.
Then yeah, it's winning for the Saldana's performance, but I mean, we can't sing the song, can we? I would love to see you try.
I'm not even going to begin, and I'm fluent in Spanish, but I'm not going to do it. All right. Best picture, we're not going to do yet. Production design, The
Hmm.
Brutalist, Conclave, Dune Part 2, Nosferatu, and Wicked. This could go a lot of different ways, I think.
Yeah, I'm going Wicked in this.
Mhm.
Again, it's like the most. So there, what did I have in this? I said 9 9 million tulips were
Oh.
created for Wicked. Um, but wouldn't you rather have the bookcases in the Brutalist?
I
I
love
would
that room.
like the bookcases, the reveal when they reveal the bookcases in the Brutalist, it's like
Oh.
it's like this shocking moment of like, or not shocking, but it's just like, oh, a moment of
Breathtaking.
awe. Like, yeah, like, wow, that is freaking awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm going with Wicked.
I am too, even though like The Brutalist is about production design, kinda. And we at LA Film Critics gave our production design award to, I'm blanking on her name in the moment, but the woman who is production designer on this film. And she's like, I am Laszlo Toth.
Hmm. Yeah, that was good.
But I do think it's going to be Wicked as well. Okay, live action short. I have seen all of these. All right, so we have Alien, Anuja, I Am Not a Robot, The Last Ranger, and The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent. I think The Man Who Could Not Remain Silent is going to win. It won at Cannes. It is the shortest of the shorts at 13 minutes. It's not my favorite. I love I Am Not a Robot. It's so clever. And then Alien, I think, has a chance because it's about something really timely that is pissing people off. It's about ICE agents swooping in during green card interviews to scoop people up and deport them. And I think it's very timely, I think, and resonant, and unfortunately. But what do you think is going to happen here?
Because I had to file my predictions yesterday,
Yeah.
but I feel like it's not too late. It's not too late to change in this category
Okay.
because I don't know if, yeah, anyway, I'm not going to get into the weeds about LA Times production deadlines and such, but Alien, I think could win because of
Hmm.
what you just said.
Yeah.
I feel like talking about all these short categories with you, I feel like again, I'm going to use the word harebrained. I feel like my reasoning is just like really suspect because here I'm going with Anuja
Because it's on
because
Netflix and Mindy Kaling is one of the producers.
yes,
Hmm.
yes. So you have the platform that
Yeah.
people, you know, Academy members watch these movies on the streaming portal, so that they have a platform, but there's another platform called Netflix that is going to be right on their landing page when they
Yeah.
when they go on the page, go on the screen, whatever, wherever you're accessing Netflix. And Mindy Kaling, like how many people has Mindy Kaling called?
Right.
She's got a lot of friends. It's a totally, I feel like a totally idiotic way to predict this category, but that's I we're not talking about quality. It's a
No.
sweet movie, or it's fine,
Yeah.
but that's why I'm going with it.
No, that's really savvy and really strategic of you. And I thought that when I was watching them, like, oh, I bet this wins because it's on Netflix. But other ones are better.
Right? Yeah, and I feel like the case you made for Alien and its timeliness,
Yeah.
like, is a good one. I'm really torn in this
Thanks.
category.
Me too. So I'm picking Man Who Could Not Remain Silent, but I would not be surprised if it were something else. Okay. Sound, we have A Complete Unknown, Doom Part 2, Amelia Perez, Wicked, The Wild Robot. What say you, Glenn Whipp?
I'm going with Dune. I
Me
don't think
too.
Dune's going to be shut out. So I'm going. It won the last time. It just won Cinema uh, Audio Sound Guild um, Society Award. I don't forgive me, sound people, for not knowing the specific name of your guild,
Mhm.
but it just won, as did Wicked, and it's been a while since a musical won this category. Musicals used to win it. Well, first of all, it used to be two separate categories, sound
Right.
editing and sound design, right?
Design?
Yeah. But there are two musicals nominated. I'm Complete Unknown and Wicked, so maybe they would split the musical vote. Anyway, we're spending way too much time thinking about
No. Amelia Perez is
sound
also
is
a
important.
musical.
Yeah, yeah. Well, there you go. Three.
Want to mention real fast, Judy Becker is a production designer on The Brutalist. Thank you all for keeping us honest. I am with you on Doom Part 2. Visual effects, Alien Romulus, Better Man. I love that for all of eternity. It will be the Academy Award nominated Better Man. Doom Part 2, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, and Wicked. I think Dune gets this one also.
I agree.
Okay, cool. Adapted screenplay, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Emilia Perez, Nickel Boys, and Sing Sing.
A lot of words in Conclave.
Many of which are Pope.
Lot of scheming. I mean, I am looking forward. I don't think I've been to an airport since Conclave came out. Strange. I guess I've been working. Haven't had a chance to take any trips, but it's the airport novel. I don't think Conclave has ever been described in any other way as adapted from the airport novel written by Robert. I think it's Robert A. Harris, right?
It
Is it?
does feel like, yeah.
So, like, I'm looking forward to going to an airport to see if I can find this book. Maybe I'll pick it up for the flight because I hear it's a page turner.
Yeah, I agree. Conclave, again, juicy dialogue and twists and turns and big, juicy monologues for people like Stanley Tucci,
Mm-hmm.
like Ray Fiennes. They all make a meal out of it. Isabella Rossellini, who will not win here, makes a meal out of her few moments on screen. So I'm with you. And then original screenplay, we have Honora, The Brutalist, A Real Pain, September 5, and The Substance.
Yeah, this is a good category.
Yeah.
LA Film Critics, we went with A Real Pain.
Yeah.
And that was kind of presumed to be maybe the favorite in this category. But then A Real Pain was not nominated for Best Picture. And you have a 20-year the last movie to win screenplay without a Best Picture nomination. And since they expanded the Best Picture to at 8, 9, and now a fixed 10 nominees, no movie has won screenplay without a Best Picture nomination.
Okay.
So
I see.
I'm going with Honora.
Okay. I'm going with Honora also. Because
Without
Sean
any of
Baker
those
won the Writers
convoluted,
Guild. What's
yeah,
that?
without any of those convoluted stats that I'm.
No, those are all super helpful and is one of the 1,000 reasons that I enjoy having you here. I did think for a long time that A Real Pain would win. It did win at LA Film Critics, as you say. And it's a wordy screenplay like Conclave, you
Yeah.
know. It gives its actors a lot to work with, a lot of really choice material to work with, which is why you get Kieran Culkin walking away with Best Supporting Actor, for example. And like Will Sharp is really good in it in a much more understated role. Like everyone, Jennifer Grey, everyone gets a lot to work with here. So I wouldn't be surprised, but I do think Honora will win because it won at the Writers Guild.
Like I said it a little while back, I mean, these streaks are streaks until they're not. I mean, one year some movie's going to come along and break that 20-year streak, and I would not be surprised if it was A Real Pain.
Okay. So you're picking Honora, though.
I am.
So am I. All right. Let's do Best Picture. Your nominees are Honora, The Brutalist, A Complete Unknown, Conclave, Doom Part 2, Amelia Perez, I'm Still Here, Nickel Boys, The Substance, and Wicked. Is this a foregone conclusion? Is this obviously what's going to happen here that Honora is going to win, or does Conclave winning at SAG make a difference?
Is this our last category?
It is. And also I want to ask you about a complete unknown. I want to ask you about the weighted ballot in general and like how
Hmm.
might this make things shake out differently than it has at previous indicators award shows?
Well, I mean, the weighted ballot, meaning that for voters, for Oscar voters, they are ranking their movies 1 to 10,
Mhm.
and then I don't want to get into the whole. And then the Academy puts them into stacks of first place votes,
Mhm.
and then the movie that's in 10th place, that stack gets taken and removed, and one of those 10 every one of those ballots, they look at the second place movie on the ballots and redistribute the ballot to the remaining 9 stacks. Does
Mhm.
that make sense? Are you with me so far?
I am. I love math. It's my favorite.
So now we're down to 9 movies, and what you keep doing this until one movie gets 50% plus one vote.
Mm.
Um, the Producers Guild does the same preferential ballot, and Honora won at the Producers Guild.
Yeah.
Honora won at the Directors Guild. Honora won with the Writers Guild.
Yeah.
Only one movie has won all three producers, writers, directors. Only one movie has not gone on to win Best Picture, and that is Brokeback Mountain, which
Mhm.
lost to Crash. Which, why did that happen? Well, we could have a different podcast about that. But that's a lot of history on your side. That's a lot
Yeah.
of history. I'm too close to this because Honora is my favorite movie of the year. I'm not going to pick against it after it winning all those prizes, but Conclave did win with the British Film Academy, which means that European vote might be with it. I mean, it's got all those Euro production companies associated with it, right? Uh, it won Screen Actors Guild Ensemble Prize, and yeah, so in that preferential ballot that you're talking about, like people genuinely like this movie.
Yes.
I don't know. I liked it. I didn't love it, but and I wouldn't put it probably in the top. It would be maybe fourth on my ballot, fifth. I don't know. Um, but a lot of people like it enough to put it like number two and three.
Yeah.
So what about Honora? I mean, is it like I always thought Honora had too much sex for the Academy. Like,
I mean, it
oh
begins
no,
with lap dances.
it does. Like 10 minutes of lap dances. So I was like, maybe I mean it's a Sean Baker movie. Is that going to win Best Picture with a broad consensus? But I mean, it's won. It keeps winning.
Yeah.
Can't pick against it.
Yeah, I think all that too, all those predictors are pretty persuasive and it's great, and it's raunchy but ultimately like uplifting in some ways. Like there's redemption and she's won on her terms and everyone's great in it. And it's like a lot of Sean Baker movies in that it explores the American dream and people's disillusionment with it, people on the fringes and having their eyes open to the realities of the world, but it does so in like a raucous kind of entertaining way. Lots of love for Honora in the comments. My friend Igor in Poland says Honora has momentum. Apparently, all the numbers behind it. Um, um, Iman says hoping Honora doesn't get Best Picture. Very overrated. Steven says I loved Conclave and Honora failed to make my top 10. And anyways, lots of opinions about Honora. Michael says Honora because you cheer for her. And do people want to feel good ultimately when they walk out of the theater? I mean, I guess not with Oppenheimer, but anyway,
Well,
I'm with you. I do think it's going to be a Nora for a lot of reasons. But if they said Conclave, I wouldn't be shocked.
I will be not shocked but angry.
Okay. All right. So we're saying a Nora. All right. I know we got to get you out of here in a few minutes because you've got a meeting at 1. Is there anything we didn't touch on? Any like last minute thoughts about the night? Any thoughts on Conan O'Brien hosting? Anything else you want to share before we go?
I think it's going to be a fun. I think it's going to be a great Oscars this year
Yeah.
because of all these close races that we've been talking about, and I really think Conan is a great choice for host.
Yeah.
He's funny. He's inventive. I think he's also as creative and inventive and sort of odd as he is. He's also mainstream enough. He's done
Mhm.
this type of thing before. So I think he's going to do a really terrific job. I'm looking forward to the show.
It's amazing that he's never hosted before, right? It seems like it's a
Not the Oscars.
tailor-made
Yeah.
gig for him
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he's of the industry, but also can make fun of it in a smart way. He can find that balance. He won't be snarky like Ricky Gervais at the Golden Globes, but he'll make fun of things in an appropriate kind of satirical way, and he'll be good.
I hope they've found their host for like the next 10 years. I hope he goes on like a Billy Crystal run.
Yeah, and Kimmel was good at it too. It's such a tough gig, having to find that right tone and like react to things in the moment. And he's got an army of writers backstage, of course, to help him do that. But yeah, so you will be on your couch, yes?
I guess so. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I hope that you will tune into our live stream, Glenn. We are having a live Oscar watch party. Alonzo and I will be here all night here at our YouTube channel starting at 3:30 p.m. Pacific time and going for the entirety of the show. Show begins at 4 Pacific time. We're teaming up with our friends at Super Streaming for trivia and predictions and auctions and prizes and cool stuff. There's a link to our Super Streaming page in the description here, and we'll have it on social media all week long. So come join us and hit notify me so you don't miss a thing. Thank you so much, Glenn, for being here. I know you've got a dash. Thanks to all of you guys for coming out and sharing your thoughts. Lots of opinion. We have a very knowledgeable and engaged audience here at Breakfast All Day. So I knew you guys would have thoughts on this. Oh yeah, Sydney says, I hope Triumph hosts the red carpet. You kind of do have to have Triumph the Insult Comic Dog if you're going to have Conan, right?
Absolutely agree.
Yes. Glenn, thank you so much. Folks can find your work at the LA Times and other places. Are you on social media at all?
Not really.
Good for
Nah,
you.
especially these days, man. Especially
Yeah.
these days.
That's really smart. Okay. Thanks so much to all you guys. We got to let Glenn go and do his real job. Appreciate you all. And we'll see you on Sunday.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks. Bye.